Okay, we're here with another question. This is one that comes up a lot, and it kind of flows through, and so it's about exes, fixing things with our exes, and as the question goes, so a couple is married, they have children. For some reason, that relationship ends in divorce. One or both of those couples remarry, but they have joint children, and they can't get along. Either it's the new wife or the new husband, or there's that constant battle, but the kids are in common. So it's not like these couples can just go their separate ways. But they're constantly in bitter disagreement with each other. Usually, you never know who it is. Maybe the new wife resents the old wife, or the old wife resents the new wife, or the new husband resents the old husband. Just, it's a constant cycle. We could roll them all together. So we've got a messed up relationship, but there are kids involved. Help us navigate towards a better cohesion for the good of the kid, maybe that way.
And that's what you have to focus on. I mean, that's the first thing that I say to parents when they come in is, we have to look at what's best for the kid. That's my main priority. And a lot of times they're not. They're at each other. And when they're at each other, they're hurting the kid. And so sometimes pulling the child in there and having the child talk to the parents, maybe with everybody involved, here's how this is affecting me. When you do this, here's how I feel. And this is what's going on with me. A lot of times parents, they don't see that. Well, I think sometimes they see it, but they don't want to see it. They want to think, kids are resilient. He's going to get through this. But the kid's hurting. The kid's having all kinds of problems. So I think you have to really step back and put your ego aside, and you have to try to do what's right. And it really helps if all those parents, if I could get everybody to be on the same page parenting, because that's where a lot of the problems come up. You're too hard on him. We're not that hard on our son, or that type thing, or you're letting him off and letting him do anything he wants to do. And usually, we talked about parents and how they're oftentimes on different ends of the spectrum. There's usually one family who wants the kids to have a lot more structure. The other one wants it to be a lot more laid back. That's one of the reasons they divorced in the first place. They're not able to work that out. So I think getting on the same page and trying to recognize how your actions are affecting those kids is really important.
You got any thoughts?
Well, I was just going to say, I get to sometimes, not too often, but sometimes I see this physically at school. I can just tell an immediate behavior difference in a student that I might teach, and then pretty soon after that, I get an email that something is going on with this exact situation. So we may not think we are impacting the kids by our behavior, but when you do notice it, I think that's definitely your warning sign to make a change as an adult.
Have you seen, too, that sometimes there's one parent who doesn't want to come to meetings at school, or they don't want to, it seems like to me they don't want to take responsibility for what's going on? Have you seen that?
I have not seen that, no.
Yeah, I see that sometimes with my schoolwork and in private practice, that there will be one parent who they know they're wrong. They knew what they're doing is hurting their kids, and they're making the situation worse. And when I try to get them to come in, they don't want to come in. And I can't make them come in, We just, again, have to talk about consequences.
Would that parent be the one sometimes that felt the most hurt to begin with, and it's their way of getting back, perhaps?
I think a lot of it's about retaliation, or they just lack the skills, emotional skills to deal with relationships, So when we have problems in relationships, it's usually all relationships. It's not just with a coworker or a parent. We're struggling all the way around because it's all, a lot of times all about me. It's about being self-centered.
I guess maybe let me try to summarize this. I just know over the years, and we've all had friends and certainly people in the church that got a divorce, and when there's kids involved, and they've chosen not to reconcile, regardless of the value judgment there. On many occasions, I've said and we've said, and at that point, once you've divorced, it's no longer about you; it's about the child. Right. And that's one of the things that I struggle to get as a pastor, because then you'll see them, they'll look you in the eye. They'll oftentimes tell you, we understand. You're still connected. You may divorce, but you're still connected at the hip the rest of your life.
Right.
But they'll say, I think they can verbalize, we understand from this point on, it's not about what he did to me or she did to me, it's about the kid. But it's like the switch is turned at some point, and they can never live that out and flesh that out, even if it means hurting the child. And the 13-year-old or the 15-year-old or the 11-year-old kid, they're just like water. They're not choosing mom over dad or dad over mom. They're just choosing the path of least resistance. What house can I go to get away with the most? Right. And it's not that I love mom more than dad or dad more than mom. I just get away with more over there. Yeah. And so how do we help parents? Because I just want to say, you both told me you understood it was about the kid, but nothing you're doing is about the kid. So fix that problem.
Yeah, all right. I think, when they hit rock bottom, at first, usually what happens, how it comes to a counselor usually, is they'll bring the child in for anger problems. They'll say, oh, he has an anger problem. And then I see what's going on. I mean, who wouldn't have an anger problem if you were dealing with that kind of thing? Or they're depressed. Yeah. I mean, there's something going on. And if I can, again, get those parents in there and help them see that if they change, if they're willing to make some changes in what they're doing and how they're co-parenting with this child, he's not going to have the emotional problems that he's having right now. But until you make the changes, he's not going to change.
So go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think often we as adults know when we are not doing the right thing, whether it's how we're manipulating this situation that we're talking about. We know if we're trying to manipulate a situation, or we know a lot of times if we're not behaving right toward our kids or toward the other blended family. And I think that we cannot justify those things just because of our emotions. We have to still behave right and behave in a godly fashion.
So I guess here's my invitation. If you're watching this, and this is you, my fifth point today on getting through is to seek help. And so here's my invitation to you. Let's say that you're the person, when you're honest, when it comes to your kids, you're the person that always is being attacked. I'm going to invite you to be proactive. Send this video to them, ask them to view it. Say it's no longer about us, it's about our child. And then perhaps seek counsel. If you're the one that's doing the hurting, I'm going to encourage it. And a lot of times I want to do my best to have empathy with you. A lot of times you are hurting this other person because you were destroyed in the marriage. And I don't want to minimize that, but what I want to say is your son or your daughter needs you to figure out how to get past it, and y'all how to work together. So my invitation at the end of this is, we're not answering this. Maybe the best answer you can have is call the church. Let's get you with James or one of our other counselors.